Hey Viva Tampa family, we're here in Lutz, Florida, about to give you a good perspective of what it's like to live here. Stay tuned. Are you thinking about moving to Lutz, Florida, but not sure this is the right place for you? Well, let us help you feel more comfortable about that decision. Today we're going to talk about the pros and cons of living in Lutz, Florida. Stay tuned, you're not going to want to miss this. Trust me.
Hey everyone, this is Shanika and this is my husband Saul, and together we are the Hernandez Group, your go-to real estate agents here in the Tampa Bay area. As you know, we really enjoy making these videos for you, but even more than that, we want to be your real estate choice, and we would love the opportunity to help you buy and sell real estate.
As a dedicated team of realtors, we'd be honored to help you with your real estate needs. If you're thinking of buying or selling in the Tampa Bay area, give us a call, text, or email. We'd love to connect on Zoom or by phone to understand your goals and see how we can best support your journey. Y para todos mis latinos, también hablamos español.
We'll be exploring the pros and cons of living in this charming suburb to help you decide if this is the right fit for you. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more insights on living in the Tampa Bay area and beyond. Here we are today in Lutz, Florida. We're at Villa Rosa Park. We just wanted to go out here and show you the beautiful scenery out in Lutz. This is a wonderful park. It has like a volleyball court, basketball courts, playground. It's just a really lovely area. So we just wanted to get out here and enjoy the scenery.
Yeah, it also has beautiful like walking trails too. I see people jogging and walking up early in the morning. To give you guys a better perspective, it is currently just about 7:30 a.m. at the moment.
So let's begin with some cons. The first one we want to talk about is the limited access to amenities. So Lutz, Florida is just north of Tampa. So being outside of the city, there are fewer amenities. So you don't have access to all of like the entertainment, the restaurants, the dining, all of the perks and excitement that Tampa has. It's more quieter out here. So, I mean, that's a plus, but as a con, like if you enjoy, being out with the hustle and bustle, being around entertainment, concerts and all that, being in Lutz, fewer amenities out here.
So with that also comes now increased travel time, right? So you're living in a suburb just north of Tampa. It's about a 15-mile, 20-minute drive or so to get to Tampa. So in doing so, now you had to drive there, right? So that's going to now be a little bit of an inconvenient where you had this waste money on gas, right? It's going to take time to get there.
Got to plan, accordingly to make sure you have time to get to where you're trying to go.
You got to plan ahead, obviously, but the biggest thing is traffic, right? So here in the Tampa Bay area, we're noticing it's growing so much. I'm starting to believe it's getting oversaturated. Like just population is just crazy here now. It's just grown so much since we've been here. But I do believe that just having more people here, obviously you now get that feeling of like traffic getting worse. So what typically takes about 10-minute drive is now maybe 20 or 30-minute drive now with traffic. So getting from Lutz to Tampa itself is a headache. I have friends that live in Lutz and they tell me that's the biggest thing they hate is having to get to Tampa with the traffic. It's just very congested. You don't want to deal with the traffic here. So got to understand that doing that, living in Lutz, you do have to understand that it does come with with traffic, obviously. But I think also another thing that I don't like is when people just think about the traffic and don't really realize that now that comes with now you being in traffic for longer periods of time, which means you're wasting gas. So now you're having to fill up your tank maybe, a couple times a week as opposed to maybe just once a week or maybe once every 2 weeks. Now you're having to do it maybe twice a week.
Another con of living in Lutz is limited options for public transportation. So being in the suburb, you're not connected to the bus system. In Tampa, there's so many options as like the Tico streetcar, there's buses, there's, scooters, bike rentals. So, being outside of public transportation, having limited options, having a vehicle is a must. What comes with having a vehicle, of course, is more expenses. In Lutz, there's limited public transportation options. So for those who rely on public transportation, this is an added stress, an added inconvenience.
Another con for me is just there's not major employment centers in Lutz, really. Not a lot of jobs out here in Lutz itself. So, of course, that also adds to the traffic congestion, right? Because now you have to drive to other parts of the city to go to work. And, you know, I understand that nowadays you get to work from home. A lot of jobs offer that option. But for a lot of people, they're still having to go in. And from what my friend tells me out here who lives in Lutz, tells me there's not really a lot of good paying jobs out here in Lutz. So they're having to go to Tampa, they're having to go to Clearwater, they're having to go all the way to St. Pete. So those areas, or maybe Plant City, right, where they have them big distribution centers. But that's another thing for me. That's another con, because that again adds to the congestion in traffic, adds to the miles in your vehicle, adds to the mileage on your vehicles. It adds to the fuel cost. So that's, to me, another con right there.
And, you know, because Lutz is away from like the major employment centers, that might hinder your ability for job growth. You know, you have to take into consideration your commute time. So you may not take a job because of your commute, or you may have to miss out on, you know, positions or with certain companies because you don't want to drive out there. So that is unfortunately a con.
Yeah, and also to kind of piggyback on that whole congestion, you got to think about this too. When we come from in Colorado, the traffic wasn't that bad at the time when we left, when we moved out here to Tampa. So when we got here, we started noticing, okay, this must be what traffic is really like. It gets to the point too where you also have to think about like that work-life balance, right? So often I would come home from work, and typically would be like a 35-minute drive took me over an hour sometimes, and by that time, you know, you're just you're tired, it's just drained from driving and stuff, to where you don't really get to do too much with your kids. You miss out on a lot of like after school programs, you miss out on a lot of things that pertains to your family. So that was the biggest thing for me when it came to traffic. So another thing that, to me, what I noticed out here too is road rage. There's a lot of road rage because of that. So many people get so frustrated with being stuck in traffic that they just don't know how to handle that. So, or
you know, they're trying to zip in and out of traffic so they're not late.
which does what now? Causes accidents, right? So again, traffic, the biggest thing out here. You have to worry about when living in Lutz. You're going to be stuck in traffic. So unfortunately, that's just a big con.
Yes. But
in reality, the truth is the pros outweigh the cons by a huge margin. There's so many things that are on a pot. There's so many pros out here in Lutz as opposed to cons.
So obviously we're here at a park. It's very peaceful. So, you know, the suburban life is peace, is tranquility. Absolutely, that's the reason why people choose to live out here in Lutz. You know, they don't want the hustle and bustle. They don't want the loud sounds, the horns, the sirens of the city life. You know, here it's peaceful. You know, you hear the birds, you hear the animals. We're here sitting outside, we hear like the birds chirping. You know, people are walking, just enjoying the peaceful environment.
A lot of people walking their dogs and stuff, pushing the strollers. The beautiful scenery. This is what to me, this is what life's about. You want to wake up, enjoy the sun, enjoy the beautiful nature. You know.
So that's another con, is the beautiful the beautiful natural surroundings in Lutz. You know, here you'll have beautiful parks, lakes, you know, lots of trees. Definitely, you know, you feel like you're away from the city. You're enjoying the environment, the natural beauty that Lutz and Florida has to offer.
Correct. And they're also like hiking and fishing. I mean, who doesn't love fishing, right? So that's another big thing too. A lot of a pro for me. I talk to a lot of people here in Florida. That's one thing they love doing is fishing and golfing. That's like a big thing out here. So
I think like if you're very active, this is a perfect place for you, because you get to, you know, hike the trails, you get to go fishing, you know, golfing. So I think if you have a very active lifestyle, Lutz is definitely a great fit for you.
Yes, and the sense of community here is great too. Like we just see people walking around and they're, you know, good morning, you know, you get the waves and stuff. So everybody just seems to be happy in life and enjoying their life. So just living their best life.
So you definitely feel like it's a safe environment. You know, the neighbors are looking out for each other out here. It's definitely like, if you're looking for safety, you know, a big, if community is huge for you, is a definite pro living in Lutz.
So now, although we mentioned that one con of living in Lutz was that, you know, you get stuck in traffic, right? And it's about 15 miles from Tampa. But in reality, here in Florida, that's also a pro because it's not really that far. A 20-minute drive to Tampa is not far. If you're not used to that, right? If you're thinking, oh, that's far from where you're from, again, in Colorado, that wasn't nothing. I'm sorry, that was in Colorado, that was huge. Like, you drive anywhere for 15 minutes, that to you was like, no, I'm not gonna go there. It's too much driving. 15, 20 minutes was too far.
Right.
Here, that's the norm. 20, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, that's normal out here. So we got used to it too. So I guess you could say that's a pro as well because it's not too far from Tampa, and there's so many things to do in Tampa.
Right, and I think Lutz, the benefit of living out here is that you have access to highways. So right outside of Lutz is the Veterans Expressway. So if you want to avoid, is it 275, I-275 south? Just hop on the expressway and you're down to Tampa in no time. Because Lutz has access to the highways, the Veterans Expressway, it's very convenient to get to healthcare facilities, to schools. So it's not a con, it's actually a pro that you can have the ability to live outside of the city, but you can get to the city in no time.
Another pro is the affordable housing options, which offer better value than urban areas.
Yeah, so I think a main reason why people choose to live out in Lutz and in other suburbs, but we're talking about Lutz, is because in Tampa, houses there could be $500,000. So when you move out to Lutz, you find more home for your money. You have more yard.
The square footage is going to be a huge difference there. And they get way more bedrooms, bathrooms, like she said, a bigger yard. The yards out here in the Lutz homes are pretty nice size, so you won't get that in Tampa. And if you do, you're paying over $1 million. I mean, it's amazing the cost difference. But that's a big thing. And just here in Lutz alone, I think the median sale, I believe, is like approximately $480,000. And although that may sound a little on the higher end, you have to understand Lutz to understand that that's actually not bad for a suburb like Lutz.
And there's a range of prices, so that's the median. So obviously you can find homes that are less than that median price out here.
Yes, and even with that 480,000 median, you're still at about 23% less than last year. So prices are dropping. Another
pro of living in Lutz is that there are several highly rated schools in the area. So I know people with families are looking at schools and education, and Lutz has several schools in the area, such as Lutz Montessori School, Lutz Preparatory School, and Steinbrenner High School. Those are just a few of the highly rated schools in the area. So if that's something that you're looking for, Lutz would be a great fit for your family.
And as we know, as parents, that's one of the biggest decision makers there is the schools, right? You want to make sure your kids get into good schools and stuff. So definitely don't have to worry about that when you come to Lutz.
Yeah.
Lutz is definitely a great suburb, has everything you need. The cons, as we mentioned in the videos, definitely do not outweigh the pros. So again, I think Lutz would be a great area for anyone to live in.
Absolutely. So we hope this video has given you some valuable insight to help you make a decision. So if you're thinking of moving to or exploring other areas of the Tampa Bay area, we would love to hear from you. Let us help guide you through the process. So feel free to call, text, or email. We would love to hop on a call to understand your situation. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more insights on living in the Tampa Bay area. Take care and stay blessed.
How you doing?
What is this one? Pros and cons?
Yeah.
I'm like, what are we recording?
Which is obviously, good morning.